The best time for you to start a trucking business depends on a lot of different factors: overall economic conditions, the trucking market, and your own personal financial situation. Many people have tried to time the trucking market, see when rates are going to go up and when they're going to go down, with little success. In fact, depending on when you watch this video, the trucking market may have changed completely. So instead of asking yourself, is today, May 2nd, 2023, as the recording of this video, is the right day to start your trucking business, we're going to give you a framework that you can use to make that decision for yourself at any time. Hi, I'm Caroline, your trucking business professor here at the Bobtail Help Desk. We've made a bunch of videos so far about how to start your trucking business, where to find loads, and how to keep up with compliance. But how do you know when the exact right moment will be to start your business? Ask 20 different people and you'll get 20 different answers. But we're going to help you get closer to the right answer with these 3 questions. Is it a good time for trucking? Is it a good time for the economy in general? And is it a good time for you? Spoiler alert, that last question is the most important one, so make sure you watch till the end. Ask anyone in the trucking industry at this precise moment in time, and you'll probably get one answer: stay away. Spot market rates are low, and interest rates on equipment loans are high. That's not the whole story. Believe it or not, the best time to start your company is not necessarily when the rates are highest either. This is often when you start to see people brag about their rate per mile on social media and encouraging other people to jump into the industry. But just because you saw something on Facebook or watched a video on YouTube doesn't necessarily mean that it's true or that it's going to be true for you. Instead, take a more strategic approach. Look at data from the trucking industry over multiple years, taking into consideration your geographical area and what you plan to haul. In a previous video, we looked at the many factors that can affect the freight market. We'll summarize the main 3 cycles in the trucking industry here. The first is seasonality. Generally, January to March is the lowest season for trucking. This is because the weather is terrible and the holiday season has just ended. Things typically start to pick up around April when produce season starts, and then August to October is known as peak season. The market starts to cool off around November, but there still is plenty of freight for end-of-year orders and the holiday season. So if you're trying to time the seasonality of the market, April generally is going to be the best time to start hitting the road. But if you plan to haul a certain good or agricultural product, your business's seasonality may look very different. Your seasonal cycle may look different also depending on where you are geographically. Again, look at the trends over many years to determine when is the right time of year for your business to enter the market. Next, let's talk about tender rejections. In the trucking industry, the contract market refers to agreements between shippers and carriers to haul goods over a specific period of time at a specific rate. For more on the differences between the spot market and the contract market, you can see our video about how to book loads for new authorities. Carriers can decide to reject these contracted loads for one of 2 reasons. Either they don't have enough capacity or they've found something that pays better. When a load gets rejected, it ends up on the load board or the spot market. The tender rejection rate is the proportion of contracted loads that are being rejected by carriers. When this rate is really high, it means that carriers are finding better paying loads on the spot market. When it's really low, it means that carriers are hanging on to those contracted rates for dear life, meaning that the spot market rates are probably pretty low. Keeping an eye on the tender rejection rate in your region or state can give you an idea of how much negotiating power you'll have as a carrier. Okay, the last cycle we're going to go through is market capacity. When rates are really high, trucking companies will put more trucks on the road and more people will start businesses to take advantage of those really high rates. This drives up the supply of trucks on the road and over time drives down the trucking market rates. When rates decrease, trucking companies take trucks off the road or go out of business entirely. This brings down the number of trucks on the road, bringing down supply, and over time, bringing back up those rates. To know how many trucks will be added to the market in the near future, you can take a look at trends of truck orders and how many operating authorities are being granted by the FMCSA. Okay, moving on to the next question, is it a good time for the economy? If you think that timing the trucking market is hard, try predicting what's going to happen in the overall economy. But don't worry, there are some key economic indicators that affect the trucking market significantly. First is interest rates. Low interest rates are good news for new trucking business owners because you're likely taking on debt to make large purchases for trucks and equipment. In March of 2023, the Federal Reserve released a forecast that indicated that it will increase rates one more time this year to combat inflation. Next is consumer spending. The more people buy, the more loads there are to haul. The beginning of this year saw strong consumer spending, but it was also dampened by inflation. Next is construction. When new construction is on the rise, there will be more demand for trucks. Growth has slowed in the last year in construction due to increasing inflation and the cost of doing business. Inventory to sales ratio. This is the measure of how many months of merchandise stores have on the shelves. High inventory means they're having a hard time selling products and thus lower demand for getting more products. The seasonally adjusted ratio in February 2023 was 1.23, which is still significantly lower than pre-pandemic levels. You can see the link in our description for more details. Finally, the PMI index. This is a measurement of manufacturing activity with more than 50% indicating growth and less than 10% indicating a contraction in the industry. When more items are being manufactured, there are more loads to haul. The index sat at 46.3 as of March 2023, compared to 64.7 in March of last year. Looking at these indicators may lead you to believe that it's not a good idea to start your trucking business in an economic downturn. However, if you have the financial situation to do so, starting your company in a downturn can actually position you to ride the recovery wave back up. In fact, truck prices are at their lowest in economic downturns, so it could actually be a strategic move. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, the most important question, is it a good time for you? We're going to think about your personal circumstances in 4 main areas. Finances. Do you have the startup capital you need to set up your business for success? This number can look very different depending on what truck and insurance you need, but the range can be anywhere from $6,000 to $30,000 or more. Business knowledge. Do you understand how to run a small business, including your legal and financial responsibilities? Remember, as a business owner, you have to pay additional taxes and fees to run your business. Industry experience. Have you had time to really know your equipment and the market? Maybe you already worked as a driver or a dispatcher in another company. You may be really confident then about your ability to succeed in the business. But if you've just gotten your CDL, you may want to hold off on getting your own business until you're sure you want to be in trucking for a significant amount of time and you've gained a little bit more of industry knowledge. Mindset. Are you getting into the business for the right reasons? If you're looking to make a quick buck, this is not the right place for you. Trucking is a complex business model with lots of compliance involved. Remember, starting a trucking business is not easy, and timing the market perfectly is pretty much impossible. Running a successful trucking company takes dedication, knowledge, and experience, so make sure you're considering all the factors before you jump in. Okay, now you have a framework to evaluate when you should start your trucking business. Regardless of when you start your business, you're going to need strong cash flow to keep up with all of your expenses. Factoring is a financial tool that pays your invoices quickly so that you can stay on the road. And Bobtail is the best factoring company to help you. We require no long-term contracts and we never charge hidden fees. Check out bobtail.com for more information. If you found this information helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more trucking business knowledge. We also just started a Bobtail Help Desk Facebook group so you can get all your questions answered by trucking industry veterans and experts. And I'll see you in the next video.